What's up, guys? I'm here with my GBU Week 3 match versus Keegan and his Olympique Flygon. Make sure you guys check him out in the description down below. Keegan was in BBR last season. This is my first time getting to play Keegan, so really excited. Keegan's obviously a great battler. I believe he did make BBR playoffs last season, so make sure you guys do check him out. And make sure you guys check out all of the other GBU coaches in the description down below. But yeah, Keegan has a very scary team. He is the person who took Bax Caliber right before my pick, or 2 picks before me, I believe. When Garchomp was still there, he believes Bax Caliber is better than Garchomp, and I think that is blasphemy. Garchomp is obviously way better in my opinion. Not way better. I'm capping, but it is better. It is way better. I take it back. But his team consists of Bax Caliber, Greninja, Iron Hands, Ting-Lu, Screamtail, Amoonguss, Terra Gyarados, which can be Terra Electric or Terra Flying, Hisuian Arcanine, Houndstone, Swalot, and Ampharos. Keegan is a very scary team of a lot of good Pokemon. Other than Iron Hands, that Pokemon is overrated. I'm sorry. I do not think that Pokemon is very good. It's obviously good, but I just think it's overrated. Like, I don't think I'll ever be able to draft that Pokemon. I do believe Ting-Lu is very good, though. That is one of my favorite Pokemon to use. And then Keegan also just picked up Arcanine, Hisuian, and Amoonguss the week prior to our match. So I'm really scared of the Arcanine, Hisuian. I think the Pokemon can just absolutely do so much damage. I'm also scared of like a Scarf, Greninja. Bax Caliber is obviously terrifying as well with setup, and so is Gyarados. So yeah, let me go through my team and show you guys what I am bringing. I'm bringing a Safety Goggles Azelf for that Amoonguss. I feel like this is a pretty good check to Amoonguss. Obviously, Foul Play can do a lot to us because we are physically offensive. But either way, I really think this is a good check because I just go in on, I go this Pokemon every single time and just see if he's going to click Spore or what he is going to do. We are 248 HP, and then we have 176 speed. This speed is to outspeed the Arcanine Hisuian, I believe. We did not want to have to run speed for the Screamtail. I feel like it was not needed, so we did not bring it. I don't think he's going to be like a whole lot of speed on that Screamtail. Probably should have made it to where I was outspeeding him speed carry with my Garchomp, to be honest, but that's okay. Azelf, though, we are Taunt, Zen Headbutt, U-Turn, Stealth Rocks. We're the Safety Goggles, so obviously Amoonguss can't Spore us, and then we U-turn on his switch into the Ting-Lu or the Screamtail, or we get Rocks Up of our own. So, and then Taunt is nice to taunt that Ting-Lu and also to taunt that Screamtail if we do outspeed. But yeah, Hoyland is going to be very clutch this week for us. Next we have our Captain Bruno Fernandez. We are Yachi Berry. Garchomp is very good this matchup, I feel like, with Stealth Rock, Scale Shot, Iron Head, Earthquake. When it comes to EVs, we are 160 HP, 140 attack, 40 defense, and then 168 jolly nature. We really went in on these EVs this week. So for the HP and defense investment, that is for a Bax Caliber to not OHKO us with an Icicle Crash with the Yachi Berry, and also I think it is for an Ice Punch on the Iron Hands, so we can just take it pretty easily. The Yachi Berry is more so there for also, like, if we lower our defense with Scale Shot, Ice Shard is not going to be doing that much with our EV spreads. So if we do keep our Yachi Berry, of course. This thing just does so much damage. Like, Scale Shot does a lot to everything. If I can position this thing correctly, then I should be good. Like, I think this Pokemon can win me this match. Running Rocks on this and Garchomp is not the best, but I really think I can get Rocks Up with one of them, so probably the Azelf, if I had to guess. Next, we're going to have Rashford, the Reverum, Poison Barb. I'm bringing a set that I'm probably going to bring every week. No, I am sub this week with Sub Shift Gear, Terra Blast for Terra Water, and then Gunk Shot. The Poison Barb makes it where we hit so hard, and we can almost kill that Iron Hands if we are able to get some chip. It also does so much more damage to the Amoonguss if it is physically defensive. This thing just puts Keegan in a really bad spot if I can get a sub up on certain Pokemon. Like if I can get a sub up on that Amoonguss on its Sporing. So just really clutch. I think Rashford is going to put in the work this week. Next we have Mason Mount, the Gastrodon. We are Rocky Helmet. We are just fully physically defensive because Bax Caliber into Gyarados and an Arcanine Hisuian into Iron Hands. We need that physically defensive Pokemon. So yeah, we are Spikes Recover, Clear Smog, Earth Power. Spikes can be nice if we can get them up. Recover, obviously, to stay healthy. Clear Smog for that Gyarados, if it does decide to set up, or that Baxcalibur. Even an SD Iron Hands, obviously, or even like a setup Screamtail. And then Earth Power obviously hits that Iron Hands, hits Arcanine Asui, so I think Mason Mountain is going to be very clutch this week as well. I really need it to do work. I have been just throwing it away these past couple of weeks. Speaking of Pokemon we've just been throwing away, we have Garnacho, the Rabombi with Heavy Duty Boots. We are Sticky Web, Moonblast, Quiver Dance, Psychic. This thing could win me the match as well. We have enough speed to outspeed everything on my opponent's squad. Moonblast, he does not have a very good Moonblast switch into Psychic like Amoonguss. Obviously, if he's especially defensive, then it eats, and like if he's an Assault Vest Iron Hands, it can eat. And obviously, Ting Lu takes nothing, but that's okay. We are Sweet Veil, so we cannot be put to sleep from that Amoonguss. I just think this Pokemon can do well for me. I really didn't have a 6 Pokemon I wanted, so I put this Pokemon on there, and I was like, yeah, it does well. He doesn't really have a Fairy Switch in, so even if it doesn't do a crazy amount, if I can get Hazards up and he's not Boots on a lot of things, then this thing can just chip away and do damage. It also outspeeds a non-Scarf Greninja, obviously, so it really puts in work for that Greninja, or for me against that Greninja. Lastly, we have Antony, Mystic Water, Quaquaval. We are 4 attacks with Wave Crash, Close Combat, Aqua Step, Brave Bird. I have enough speed to outspeed the Gyarados, and then we just do 252 attack and then 24 HP. We really need that attack, because if we can get a +1 with the Moxie boost, nothing will just switch into Wave Crash. If we can really cut away at Keegan's team and really like chip away at him, then I think this Pokemon can just set up and win. I think it can just absolutely demolish Keegan. Quaquaval is such a mon that just like causes so much like hysteria. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like this Pokemon could just snowball. That's the word. I forgot the word. It just snowballs so easily. It can end up cutting away at half my opponent's team. So I really hope Antony can put in work this week with this set. And yeah, this can be my team. I'm gonna catch you guys in the battle. So we are here in the battle, guys. This is going to be another post-com because I was away from my setup, like I said before, in the UNPL Week 4 match. But this is going to be our Week 4 match, excuse me, of the GBU. We are going to lead off with our Rabombi and just see what Keegan wants to go for, because he doesn't really have a good Fairy type switch in. And I mean, if he leads off with Amoonguss, then we can just Psychic it, or we can go into our dedicated check Azelf. But we see no Baxcalibur, guys. We see no Baxcalibur from Keegan. Keegan really had... I really thought he had a bunch of Pokemon he could have brought, so... like, no Baxcalibur confused me a little bit off of the get-go. But we do see Amoonguss, and we are that dedicated Azelf set to check that Pokemon. But good luck, have fun, Keegan. If you guys haven't already, check him out and the other GBU coaches out in the description down below. But he does lead off with that Iron Hands, and I think Iron Hands is bad. That is a bad Pokemon. I'm going to sit here, and I'm doing calcs, and I'm like, if he's not Assault Vest, I do 49 to like 58 or something like that. But if he's Assault Vest, then I do a little bit. But I wasn't really too worried about this Pokemon, because even if he killed me here, I thought I had ways to win. I thought I chipped it down enough that it didn't really matter. So even if he Wild Charged and KO'd me, he took Moonblast into recoil from Wild Charge. So I am going to click Moonblast here. And you see I do no damage. I do no damage. I do negative damage to that Pokemon. That Pokemon is weak to Moonblast, guys. But he does click Volt Switch, so very good for me at this point. I'm kind of excited because he didn't kill my Rabombi. So now I have my Rabombi in the back, and I can get webs up if need be, or I can just Quiver Dance and try to sweep late game if need be, like I said, because this Pokemon does outspeed a non-Scarf Greninja, so that also is nice for us. And at this point, I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, what is Keegan going to go into? He could go into his Gyarados. He could go into Greninja if it's Scarf. He could even go into Ting Lu and start hazard stacking me because Moonblast does nothing to him. And he does decide to go into the Gyarados, and he is Terra Flying, obviously. He told me prior. And here I really don't want to give him this Pokemon. Like, I was like, I can Moonblast and do some damage, but if he starts setting up, then I'm worried. Was really worried about sub, to be honest, to be frank. My name's not Frank, it's Owen. Because if he substitutes here, then my Gastrodon that is supposed to check it, I just had to spam Clear Smog. But I decided to go into my Gastrodon because that's my only really check to this thing. So we are Rocky Helmet, so we can see what his set is if he does decide to attack us. And go from there. Mason Mount's going to come in and do his damnedest to try not to let us get swept. And Keegan is going to go ahead and terrestrialize. There's no point in him not terrestrializing. This gives him a physical flying type move. And he can just do a whole lot of damage. And I'm dumb. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm kind of dumb sometimes. Excuse me. But because he clicks Terra Blast, and I see that he doesn't take Rocky Helmet damage. And I'm very confused at this point because I thought it made contact. I don't know. And that damage looked like banded damage. I was like, he's protective pads and choice band. I was very confused on what this man's set was on this. I eventually was like, okay, well, we make contact, and I was Rocky Helmet, so he's obviously protective pads. But we'll find out he's not protective pads. But also with the damage he did, I was like, he's either choice banded or he's adamant. Like, I was very confused on what the Gyarados set was. And at this point, I'm looking at his team, and I'm like, okay, he's probably going to expect an Ice Beam. I was going to click Spikes, but I decided to click Recover, and he does switch out. So good for me that he's not set up, basically. We take those, because if he was set up, that could have been bad. And he goes into Amoonguss, and at this point, I'm like, okay, I have a dedicated check, and that's Azelf. Like, Azelf automatically goes into this because I am safety goggles. He cannot put me to sleep, and if he decides to do something else, he decides to just attack me with a grass type move, I eat it up, and then I can U-turn, because he's obviously not going to stay in on an Amoonguss, or on an Azelf, because I am a psychic type, and he has a dark type, Ting-Lu, which is literally one of the bulkiest Pokemon on this fucking planet. So we are just going to go into our Azelf and see what he decides to do, because Azelf literally just walls this Pokemon. Even if he clicks Foul Play, we are physically offensive, but he does decide to click the Spore, and this feeling of one of the best feelings is whenever your Pokemon don't go to sleep when they click Spore. I don't know, I loved it. I was getting hype at this point, because I was like, I'm in the driver's seat. I click U-turn here. I could get my rocks up if I want, but I don't really feel the need to get my rocks up at this point. Like, rocks are nice, but I do not need them right now. Like, I know that Gyarados is probably not Boots, so it could be pretty effective for that, but I just click U-turn here because he's obviously going to go Ting-Lu. And if he goes into Ninja for some reason, because that is also a dark type, I get a massive U-turn off and can almost bring that thing down super, super low. Keegan is going to switch into that Ting-Lu. And you see we do a decent chunk. Like, honestly, I will take this damage any day of the week from this U-turn. But we do a decent chunk. That's why I ran a more physically offensive set, was for that Ting-Lu, so our U-turns do more. Because if we weren't, then we did a lot less. At this point, I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, okay, I go into Revroom, Terra Blast. I could go into Quaquaval, click a water type move, and go from there. I can go Gastrodon, get Spikes up, but I wanted to put on as much offensive pressure as I can, so I am going to go into my Antony and just click Wave Crash, I believe, because Mystic Water Wave Crash, he has 0 switch-ins to that. He has 0 switch-ins. Because even if he goes Scream Tail, we can see what his set is based off of that. See if he's Boost for Energy, see if he's like, like the Boost Energy defense, you have to run it kind of wonky to get that. But I see no reason in not clicking Wave Crash. That's why I brought this set, so we can nuke a Pokemon. That's why I brought Wave Crash. If I had SD here, that could have been cool too. But he does decide to switch out, and it is going to be that Amoonguss. So I was like, okay, we'll see how much damage we do with this, and we do about 30-ish, and he is going to be Rocky Helmet, so we are going to take Rocky Helmet and Recoil. And I wasn't worried about this. Like, obviously, Brave Bird did like 50 to 60, depending on a spread. So it was not in range of that, but my thought process was I just go into Azelf, because even if he clicks Foul Play, even if he clicks Giga Drain, even if he has like Leaf Storm, like he just showed Rocky Helmet, so he's not a Jetpack, but even if he clicks like Leaf Storm, I'm okay. I'm okay with it, because Azelf is here for Amoonguss. So if, like, I don't want to risk my Quaquaval getting put to sleep or any of my other Pokemon getting put to sleep. So, and I don't want Rabombi to come in on this, because Psychic doesn't do much damage depending on his spread. So, and if he clicks a Fairy, or if he clicks a Poison type move too, I die. So, because I am immune to being put to sleep, but I go into Hoyland, my Azelf, and we see he clicks Giga Drain, and he does a decent chunk. That's a respectable chunk, to be honest. In here, I do want to get my rocks up now, because I was like, he could stay in now, but I really don't care to get my rocks up. Because rocks here, even if he has Boots, because he has been known to run Boots on a lot of Pokemon, I will say that. But I am going to get my rocks up because it is good for the Iron Hands, because I know it takes a little bit of chip from it. even though it does resist rocks, that's fine by me. It can take a little bit of chip because it did reveal it's Assault Vest. And then I know that Gyarados is not boots because I think it's either protective pads or like choice pant at this point. So even though I was totally wrong about the protective pads thing, because obviously Terra Blast is on my contact, and he goes into this, and I'm like, this is the Scream Tail, I know that for a fact. So I get my rocks up, and I kind of make a risky play here. I know this Pokemon cannot touch me with like anything, and if he's, and I did not speak, I should have spec crept this thing speed creeping Garchomp. So then I wouldn't have, so my taunt would have been faster. But I am going to click taunt here because I can taunt him if he clicks T-Wave. If he starts to set up, then he can't set up, or even if he is faster than me, then I get the taunt off, and then he has to stop setting up, and I get a slow U-turn off, and then I can go into my Rev Room and just click Gunk Shot. But we see he does decide to click, I cannot remember what it is. I feel like I'm in a good spot at this point though. Like I can taunt this thing pretty easily, no drawbacks. Because even if he does T-Wave me, like that is fine. And he does just get his own rocks up, which I don't have boots on any Pokemon other than Rabombi, so but like a little worried. I don't have any removal, but I wasn't. I honestly was chilling. I thought I was chilling. So now I'm gonna get the slow U-turn off, and he obviously cannot click any move that is not attacking, or he can't click any move like Wish. He can't get up a T-Wave off, so I can U-turn and go into my Rev Room here and click sub so easily if he does decide to stay in, because he can't deal any damage to me at all. I calced even if he ran some dumb stuff and like because at this point he hadn't shown an item. If he ran like dig or something, like I was fine. For that Rev Room, obviously. So that's why I thought I could sub on it in the next play, you'll see. And he reveals Ice Beam, so I was like, please no freeze. And we see no freeze, so we get this U-turn off. And this is the easiest Rev Room ever. This is just Rev Room, just absolutely puts Keegan at a disadvantage. It doesn't matter that like this, like the set is obvious. Like even if I was banded here, like it didn't matter. Like the set could be obvious that I was shift gear. I really feel like Rev Room just puts a hole in my opponent's team. I'm calculating things, making sure I'm able to live like a dig or something, or like, and dig did nothing because Screamtail has 65 attack. And he revealed Ice Beam, so really didn't think he would have ground coverage here, because I also didn't want Terastallize and then him have Thunderbolt. So I decided to not Terra here, and I'm going to be able to get that substitute off and then go from there, because I feel like sub Rev Room is very nice this matchup, because me being behind a sub gives me a free turn. I probably could have just clicked Shift Gear here though, to be honest, to be frank. But me being behind a sub is nice. For a lot of things, because then I could scout for a Ting Lu. If he goes hard Ting Lu, then I don't have to take a Earthquake to the face, and it's not that I don't miss out on a KO, you know what I mean? Because then I can just click Terra Blast Water twice. But yeah, I do get the sub off on a switch, and at this point I'm also like buzzing. I'm like, yo, Rev Room just kind of wins this match. And he goes into this, which was, I was like, Amoonguss, bro, does not touch me. At this point I did not know he had foul play. I was like, I win this match, because his only way to break my sub is if I Terastallize and he clicks Giga Drain. Like, I was booming at this point. I did not expect a foul play or anything like that. Like, I was chilling. I was like, I click Shift Gear and I win. Rev Room's gonna 6-0 Keegan. I was like so excited. I get the Shift Gear off, and at this point I'm setting up +1 attack, +2 speed. Love the Shift Gear animation. And Keegan is going to reveal that he does have foul play. And at this point, I'm like, okay, kind of problematic, but I live a foul play, so I'm just going to click Gunk Shot here. If I miss, then that sucks. But yeah, I just click Gunk Shot and get off. Massive amount of damage here, massive amount of damage. If I was Terra Flying, then obviously I O-code, but then I couldn't hit the Ting Lu, and it would have been a whole thing, because then he could have hit me super effectively with a Stone Edge, and I would have died. So it was a whole ordeal. But I am going to just click Gunk Shot here and get off a massive amount of damage. I am the Poison Barb or whatever it is, so I do have more. I get more damage off with the Poison type moves. If I killed there, then I did sweep. I'm pretty sure I did just sweep. Depending on how much the Iron Hands took, but that's okay. That's okay, because then now If he does decide to go into Ting Lu, then I just have to click Terra Blast Water and hope for a crit if I wanted to sleep with Reverum. But either way, we are going to break down my opponent's team, because we are able to kill the Amoonguss and to do a massive amount of damage to the Ting Lu if he decides to go into that, or whatever he decides to go into. At this point, I'm calcing to see if Terra Blast Water kills, because I don't want to miss a gunk shot, miss out on the KO, and then be able to switch out and click and get regenerator boost. But I'm calcing and I'm like, all right, I have almost 10 seconds. Like, I'm like 90% sure Terra Blast Water kills. And like, I'm still looking at my screen and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this kills. So we are able to get that Terra Water off, and we are going to click Terra Blast, and I'm like, fingers crossed this kills. I was looking at what my HP bar was at, because it was a little bit lower, and I was at like 9% or something, and I was like, he has to be in range of this. He has to be in range of this. And we get the Terra Blast off, and I'm like, fingers crossed, like, please God, Reverum, Rashford, give me, like, finish the play, dog. And we do. We are going to pick up the KO on this Amoonguss, and I'm still beaming. I'm still beaming, and I ain't talking about the move. I am super, super hype at this point, because now I do massive amount of damage to whatever wants to come in. If he goes Greninja, then he probably has Water Shuriken. But if he goes into Iron Hands, then he has Fake Out. Like, at this point, I was like, he has to burn a priority move and kill me that way. But either way, I killed the Amoonguss, so I don't have to worry about anything going back to sleep. My Azelf is like, I don't have to really worry about that one. Like, I can use it as a sack at this point and get in one of my threats. So really, really excited. And he goes into O'Brien, and I'm like, yo, this is fine. He takes rocks, and he doesn't take rocks, so he's boots on this Ting Lu, which surprised me, because after rocks, I don't know if this killed or not. I don't think the Terra Blast Water killed after rocks, but I'm like, I don't lose anything in just clicking Terra Blast Water. Yes, I'm losing my Reverum early, but I'm going to do massive amount of damage to it, and I'm able to go into Quaquaval. This sets up Quaquaval to win. If he took rocks, I don't think he was in range, but this sets up Quaquaval to just kind of win, guys. We put the we got rid of the Amoonguss, which is the only check to that Mon, and then also we get this thing low enough to where an Aqua Step kills. So we can just go into that, click Aqua Step, get the speed boost, because of Aqua Step boosts your speed to +1, and then also get the Moxie boost to put us at +1 attack. And I'm like, nothing wants to switch into Wave Crash. Since we are Mystic Water, Iron Hands is in range. Iron Hands is in range. So like, I'm looking at the rest of Keegan's team, and I'm like, yo, he doesn't have a way to beat this Pokemon. Like, I have to die to recoil damage from Wave Crash. So if he gives me this right now, then I am going to take massive chunk out of whatever he wants to go into. So really, really excited, because now Reverum, even though Reverum didn't get to set up and sweep, even though that was my initial win con, it puts Quaquaval in an amazing position, because the Iron Hands is already a little bit chipped, and then also the it made it to where Ting Lu was also chipped very low, so Aqua Step killed, and then it got rid of Amoonguss for me. So I get the Moxie boost and the speed boost. Like, Quaquaval dancing, my boy Anthony picking up the KO. Like, KO, baby, let's go, let's get this win, I'm 1-2. I need this win, this week. So he goes into this, and I'm a little worried, but I'm looking at what he's at, and I'm like, he doesn't know I'm boosting item, he doesn't know I'm Mystic Water. Like, he didn't see me take Life Orb damage. Like, he thinks he lives this. And I'm trying to make sure I had my boosts. And I'm looking at the calcs, and I'm like, I do 62 to 72 or 62 to 73 or something. Like, I'm like, he's in range of this. He's in range of this always. And I was like, I don't know if he knows this because he does not know I'm Mystic Water. So I'm like, Anthony just like was kind of worried because he could Drain Punch, get all his health back, but I was like, fuck it, we ball, dude. Fuck it, we ball. I'm clicking Wave Crash, getting off a massive amount of damage either way. And we click Wave Crash, and I'm like, Anthony, please, 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 please. And we do pick up the KO. Crit did not matter. Crit did not matter, by the way. Crit did not matter. Checked with Keegan after the match. Crit did not matter. He did have 180 HP investment, but since I was Mystic Water, I always killed. And now I'm at +2 attack, guys. And +1 speed, and I forgot to calc on this next Pokemon if a +2 Aqua Step killed. I'm just now realizing that. I forgot I was at +2 attack. But at this point, I think Quaquaval wins because I was like, I don't know if I died to recool damage. Like I thought I at least got 2 more KOs because at this point I've gotten 2. So I'm like really excited. Quaquaval, Anthony, just putting in work. This Pokemon can just snowball so easily. And I see he goes into Screamtail, and I see what he's at, and I don't know if a +2, and he reveals these boots, by the way. He's boots on 4 different Pokemon this week. But I didn't calc an Aqua Step at +2 when I really should have. I don't know if it was in range, but I'm just gonna have to click Wave Crash. Depending on his spread, he never, like, I was at +2. I was calculating +1, I remember. So like he never lived this, but like he goes down, and I am going to die to recoil. But either way, Anthony created a huge hole in my opponent's team, meaning it got 3 KOs, baby, 3 kills. So at this point, he only has 2 Pokemon left. He has oh, I just revealed what his Gyarados set was. Excuse me. He has Gyarados and Greninja. We'll talk about what the Gyarados is in just a second. And I was like, I have 4 Pokemon, he has 2. I should win, right? It's kind of like, I was like, I should not be able to choke this. Like, if he Scarf Greninja, then I'm a little worried. But at this point, I'm like, I probably just go into Rabombi because I outspeed Greninja if it's not Scarf, and I also outspeed Gyarados if it's not Scarf. So like I was like, I don't see the point in not going into my Rabombi. And I can keep the Azelf as a sack if need be. So yeah, we're debating it, and I am just gonna go Rabombi here, 90% certain. Yeah. So we see he goes into the Greninja, and I'm like, okay, he didn't take rocks. He has boots on this thing too. So I get the freest Moonblast, and all of my calcs when I was playing said that this Moonblast killed. So I was like, I just click Moonblast. Like, this is a very free KO, and then I just win the match, because even if he goes into Gyarados after the fact, I have my Garchomp, which can live any move since I am Yachi Bear if he has Ice Fang, and then I just click Scale Shot, outspeed, whatever. Like, you know, like I was fine. I was chilling. In my head, I was like, I'm chilling. Because he has 2 Pokemon left, I have 4. Like, I feel like I cannot choke this match away. He's not Scarf, so I am gonna click Moonblast here, and I'm like, this dies, and he lives on like 2 HP. And I didn't check the full calc, but I don't know if he got like if I got a really low roll or anything. But I feel like that should have dropped. I forgot to check. I'll check after the fact. But I forgot to check what his spread was on that Greninja. But he clicks U-turn, and then he goes into Gyarados, and I was like, okay, I just clicked Moonblast here because we get damage off. He just took rocks, so he's obviously not heavy duty boots, because earlier I thought he was banded or protective pads anyways. And I was like, so I click Moonblast here and get my damage. I sack my Garnacho and go from there. Like, I was like, I have enough to win. And he reveals he's Scarf, so he is Scarf Gyarados. So now thoughts going through my head, I'm like, is there a way I lose this match? Is there a way I lose this? And I remember the bulk I had on my Garchomp, and I was like, okay, I go into Garchomp, I click Scale Shot, and like he gets the Terra Blast off, obviously, but I go into Garchomp. If he doesn't crit, I live, whatever. I click Scale Shot, I get my speed boost, and then I win. Like, that was my thought process here, because I know the Greninja is not Scarf, so like I'm like, this wins. And you will see, it is going to win. Bruno Fernandez is going to be able to bring this home for us, because the Terra Blast obviously is not going to do enough if he does not crit. So I'm just checking everything. Like, I'm like, this is my way to win. I need to be confident in it. And Bruno Fernandez has been super clutch. My goal this match was to show Keegan that Garchomp is better than Baxcalibur. He didn't even bring Baxcalibur, and Garchomp did show that it is better, and that did so much damage. I was baffled at how much damage that did. But we are going to get our Scale Shot off, and I was like, can I get 5 hits? I get 5 hits, I ain't going to worry about any shenanigans. I outspeeded anyways, but we do get the speed boost, and that is going to be GG's to Keegan, because he now loses because Water Shuriken, even if he has Water Shuriken on the Greninja, and if he is Battle Bond, which he did show he's not Protein, so he probably is Battle Bond. I was calculating to make sure Iron had killed, by the way. But so I didn't have to worry about Scale Shot miss, because I believe Scale Shot is 95%. But even if he is Battle Bond and he gets the Water Shuriken off here and he kills me, I'm able to go into Gastrodon because he is on like 2% and live any hit. Because even if he is Grass Knot, that is fine. I still have, or even if he is Grass Knot, then I lived. I'm like, since he wasn't Protein, I'm like 90% sure. I can't remember. But we are going to outspeed anyways. He doesn't show Water Shuriken. And Garchomp is going to be able to pick up the last 2 KOs. So Bruno Fernandez picked up 2. Anthony the Quaquaval picked up 3, and then Reverend picked up 1. Let me know what you guys think about this match in the comment section down below. If you thought I played well, GG's to Keegan again. Make sure you guys check him out and all the other GBU coaches out in the description down below. Super hyped. Your Morpeko United moved to 2-2 plus 2 differential, I believe. We were able to pick up a good W. We really needed that W. And yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys later.